Junko Tabei was the first woman in history to summit Mount Everest on the 16th of May 1975, but she nearly didn't make it to the top. Here are 3 metaphorical mountains that stood in her way. Number 1. Culture. Japan in the mid-20th century was a very conservative place culturally. Women were expected to be polite, quiet, and stay at home and raise children. Very demure, very mindful. When Junko first expressed an interest in mountaineering, she had a hard time finding a club that would let her be a member, and often she was the only woman at meetings. What's more, a lot of the men she climbed with were suspicious about why she was there in the first place. Some of them thought she was only there to find a husband, and many refused to climb with her. It wasn't until she founded her own all-female mountaineering club that she could finally climb on her own terms. 2. Cost. Climbing Everest is very expensive. Nowadays, an average expedition will set you back something between $30,000 and $200,000, although I'd rather pay more. I don't really want to do a budget Everest expedition. That feels unsafe. Junko and her fellow female climbers didn't have that kind of money. They had to rely on funding, grants, taking on extra work to make more money, and getting creative when it came to their equipment. For example, Junko sewed her own sleeping bag and made trousers for the expedition out of old household curtains. 3. Avalanche. Okay, so this one isn't metaphorical, it's more literal. It was a literal avalanche. A literal avalanche nearly stopped Junko's expedition when, in the early hours of the 4th of May 1975, it hit their camp at about 6,300 metres up Everest. Junko and her fellow climbers were crushed by the avalanche, but luckily her Sherpa, Aung Tsering, managed to rescue her, although she couldn't walk for about 2 days and had to stay in bed recovering. But nothing was going to stop Junko, and 10 days later, on the 16th of May 1975, she was standing on top of Mount Everest, the first woman ever to do so. And if you want to hear more about Junko's achievements, her dedication to environmentalism, and the other mountains she conquered, you can read all about her in my brand new book, Life Lessons from Historical Women, available now and as an audiobook, read by me. I've got a really bad cold.